Hey guys, this is the story of the world. I've been getting it organized and prepared for this next year. We're not going to take a super long summer break, and I'd like to enjoy it, so I'm getting a bunch of things done now. So this is the story of the world, the book. If you have not heard much about Story of the World, it is fun, just story type reading of history for your kids, so not boring textbook. And I like reading it, it's fun. So here is the activity book, book 1 that goes with the first book in Story of the World. And here is the activity book. They have a chapter 1, and they have a chapter for every book that's in the book. And as you can see, they have review questions and narration, so your kids can say back to you what they've learned. And they have encyclopedia cross-references. They have this for every chapter, so I would encourage you to look into buying 1 or 2, whatever you want. Because they use it every chapter. And then they have, let's see, moving over that. They have additional history reading and corresponding literature. And then they have map work. With every session, they have maps and coloring pages in the back. They have student pages back here that you would probably want to print off and use for as many children as you have. And so they always have a map work and a coloring page, and sometimes extra activities. And then after that, they have activity projects, and they always have several options to choose from. So, I mean, some things you might need some materials, and some things, it's stuff you have at home or just easier things, whatever your preference may be. And this additional reading and corresponding literature, I've gone through all of these. As you can see, the stars, I have found out what our libraries in town, which ones they carry. And I put it from week 1 through 3 because our library lets us take out books for 3 weeks at a time. And so I put together a list from here of what books our library has, and then I just put it on here for the 3 chapters that we'll be going through in those 3 weeks, and I put the call number so I can just take this into the library and easily go find them. And then because if I don't do something organized like this, it won't happen, because I mean, who can afford to buy every single book in here? And that way you can look at the library and kind of glance over the things you would want to read to your kids and not. So you can use your own discretion there. And then for each project, I have gone over and marked what we will do. And I also have written a project list right here. Yeah, look, my son's been drawing on the table. So there's the project list. It's really not that huge for how long it is, and some things I just put that I would need a toilet paper tube on this certain week, so just simple stuff, but just to make sure I would have it on hand. And I'm actually going to make a list with science on here too for science projects. But anyway, back to Story of the World. So they have all those activities, and then when you go past all this, they have the answers to the maps. Like I said, each chapter has a map and then the map work, and these are the answers. I printed all these out and laminated them thinking they were something else, and they weren't. And so I'm just going to let my kids use dry erase markers on them and just kind of review for the maps. So, and then in the very back of the book, they have these review cards, which is what I was thinking the maps were. this is what happens when you have kids and you're trying to get things done. And so I just printed and laminated. And so it's just a review after each chapter. You can go back and make sure they've remembered what they have learned, and it just talks a little bit about it. And then in the back of the activity book, let's see, just so you can kind of get a feel of, these are the student pages. And for each chapter, like I said, oh my goodness, this page does not want to turn. We'll go to a different one. Here's the coloring page for a chapter 2. And here is the map. And then they will tell you what to do. And so usually it is always the map and the coloring page, and then sometimes it's something extra, like this one, the hieroglyphic chart and cuneiform chart. So that is kind of how I've put it together, and what the story of the world looks like if you're interested in doing it. It seems rather complicated, but if you go through and figure out what you're going to do, it will make it a lot easier. And then I also have, hang on, here's our file folders. Let me see. So I put their activity sheets in their work. I printed those out. And then I also have, we're going to do, sorry about that, you can't see, a lap book that I had printed off. I'll give you the link for that. I found it online, and it's just a ton of lap book printables. And so I printed all those off. So we're one day out of the week we'll do work on our lap book for Story of the World, all while doing all this other stuff. So sounds like a lot, but we're going to split it up into different days. So that is it. I hope you learned something from it, and you will try out Story of the World. It's a lot of fun.